everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am Emmy, and today we are in the kitchen and we are going to be doing a copycat recipe of the TGIFriday's Jack Daniel's ribs, the baby back ribs. And this is one of my favorite recipes there. It's one of my favorite restaurants too. Like, if I have the choice and we have the money for it, I choose this restaurant because it has amazing food, great drinks, and I just love the ribs. I always get the ribs. And I found a copycat recipe, and so we bought some ribs from Walmart, which, you know, fairly good meat. Not great, like not the most amazing. Like, if you want amazing, like if you're in Ohio, Cleveland area, go to West Side Market. Or you can go to like the smaller meat stores. We have like Dumas in kind of like the Kent-Hartville area, which maybe we'll go to at one point, because that would be a lot of fun. West Side Market too. But it's pretty good meat. So we got the ribs, and we've got all of the ingredients necessary. Well, most of the ingredients, but we'll get to that when we get to the glaze, and I'll explain why we don't have all of the ingredients for the glaze. But we have all the ingredients for the dry rub, so that's what we're going to start with. Because what we're going to do first is we're going to start with the dry rub, and we're going to put the dry rub on the ribs, and then we're going to put the ribs into the Instapot. Because how we usually do it here is we start by putting dry rubs on the ribs, and then we put it in the Instapot and we let it kind of cook for most of the day. And then we take it out of the Instapot later, put it on a rack, and put the glaze on, and then let it cook for a bit longer until it's really nice, tender, fall off the bones. Delicious. And so this is the first part of it. So let's get the dry rub on. Alright, so this is the ingredients for the dry rub. I'm going to start with the paprika. And I have the recipe up here on my laptop because I don't have it memorized. Obviously, because I've never done this before. But we start with paprika, and we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of it. So let's open up the paprika. I don't tend to use paprika a whole lot, but it is definitely a very good spice. That's one. And then here's my half. Yeah. So we got that. And look at that nice red color too. I love that about paprika. It's so beautiful. And then we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So here's our salt. Well, maybe we should do that over that, huh? That would be smart. So there's the salt. We've got a 1/4 teaspoon, which I've got right here. A 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme, which is right here. Oh. Let's pull this off. So there's the thyme. Then we've got a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Half. Half teaspoon black pepper. We've got 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of the onion powder. So here's the garlic powder. Oh, gotta pull that off too. We are definitely a house that loves garlic. Like, loves. But I'll be good, and I'll just go by the recipe this time. Normally I add a little bit more. Here's that onion powder. And then we've got a 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt. Here's the 1/4. Celery salt's right here. I like to use celery salt for a couple of different things. So I don't really like celery, but I like the flavor that celery gives soups. So, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Oh, sorry, that's paprika. Thank you, Koi. Here's that cayenne pepper. All right. Oops. Whoopsies. Just a little bit of paper from the cayenne pepper. And then that's it. That's the entire dry rub. Alright, so I'm just gonna stir this up a bit so that we've got that nice and good. And that is what our dry rub looks like. And it smells amazing. Yeah, that smells really good. You can really smell like the onion and the garlic. You can smell some of that, the thyme and the paprika too. I really like that. So now we're gonna put it on the ribs. So we actually, off camera, decided to quadruple because we've got a lot of meat here, and the original recipe was just a small amount, so we decided just to make sure that we have enough. We quadrupled the recipe because I would prefer to make sure we have enough. So you can do this with a spoon if you want, just kind of like sprinkle like this. This is the nice, polite way to do it. But I'm kind of the get in there and get your hands dirty kind of girl when I'm cooking and baking. Alright, so this is Koi, and he's got the Instapot, and he is our Instapot guy right now, because he's done it the most. So the ribs are in there. We're doing it for 4 hours, that's it?
Yep.
So we just put it in. 4 hours. Now we just have to wait. Alright, it's been a little over 4 hours now. The ribs in the Instapot are pretty well ready for glaze work and to go into the oven now. So we're actually going to get started on the glaze. So the first part is liquids, and I said earlier that we didn't have all the ingredients, and the reason I said that is because I'm actually allergic to pineapple. But, well, I decided that we would just get it because I haven't actually had a reaction to TGI Fridays, so if they actually are using pineapple, maybe it's that it's being broken down in the cooking process enough that I'm not reacting. And if I do react, well, there's always Benadryl. So let's find out. So we do actually have all the ingredients now. So we've got a 1/2 cup of water in there. And it wants us to do water, the pineapple juice, teriyaki sauce, soy sauce, and the brown sugar. So the pineapple juice is going to be 1 cup of this. That's a lot of pineapple juice. I call it murder fruit. As well as kiwi, because I'm allergic to kiwi too. I didn't used to be, but then I got pregnant, and all of a sudden I was allergic, and it's mostly been a itching reaction, but the pineapple's gotten a little more extreme over time. Normally I would try very hard to avoid this, but I'm hoping that this will cook it out enough that it's not that big of an issue. So there's 1 cup. A 4th cup of teriyaki sauce. So we've got our 4th cup right here, and our teriyaki sauce. Oh wow, that's thick. Okay. It doesn't taste as good not cooked. Ugh. I don't know why I keep eating it. Because I'm weird. Waste not, I guess. And then we want a tablespoon of soy sauce. So I guess just a little bit of the salt content. My husband just tried it.
That's not teriyaki sauce.
It's not?
Yeah.
So you screwed us up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I guess it's not teriyaki sauce. My husband screwed us up, so this probably won't be exact. Thanks, Ash.
Welcome!
Okay, so next is said a tablespoon of soy sauce. So we've got a little bit of salt content going in. I mean, it's not really a little bit. Soy sauce is pretty salty.
From the teriyaki lays to that. But suddenly they changed.
So there's the soy sauce. And then the last thing we need to put in right now is the brown sugar. I like to keep it in something like this because it kind of keeps it a little more, you know, nice and, the problem with brown sugar is that if you keep it in the bag, it'll get pretty hard if you're not careful. So I like to keep it in something like this. I just got this at the dollar store and simply just wrote brown sugar on it. Like, we have a bunch of these for like flour, sugar, all that. Like, I love it. So we want 1 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And brown sugar you tend to want to pack. Like, that's usually how they would have you do it. So there's a 1/3 cup. And then I'll just use the 1/2 cup for this part. For the next part, let's see. Pack that down. I'm getting brown sugar all over my hands. Which brown sugar is funny. It's really only a mixture of like sugar and molasses, which is why it's brown, one, and why it kind of has that consistency. There we go. So I'm just gonna give this a quick stir. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get it onto the stove now. So and what we want to do once we get it onto the stove, so we're just gonna turn this onto like about medium-low heat, and we want to bring it up to a boil. And I'm just gonna set my little spoon down here. That's right, got that off of Amazon. We've taken the ribs out of the Instapot, and we haven't gotten them into the actual regular oven yet, or with the glaze. The glaze is still heating up to a boil, but here's a little piece. It's kind of like already a little bit close to fall off the bone, but like, that dry rub is really good. That's really good. It's not too, I can't handle spicy at all, but like,
Terrible Spaniard.
yeah, I'm a horrible Latina, seriously. But it's really not that spicy. I can feel a little bit of like really nice kind of like warming heat on the tongue, but it really isn't much more than that. But those flavors just melded well together, so well. You can really taste like the garlic and the paprika together and the thyme. It's really good. I can't wait to taste it all together. We've got the it's finally boiling, and we've got it on simmer. We've actually doubled the recipe just to make sure that we have enough. So from here on out, I'm gonna tell you the actual measurements, and then I'm just gonna put in the double. So the next part would be chopping up the garlic. It asks for a head of garlic, and then you roast it, and then you make 2 teaspoons of that. But we actually have minced garlic that I buy, so that's what we're actually going to do, because it just slipped my mind. We didn't actually buy any like regular heads of garlic, and this is easier for me as a disabled woman, so this is what we're doing. And this is the roasted one, so it kind of works perfectly, doesn't it? So it calls for 2 teaspoons of it. So we're actually just going to put in 4 teaspoons now. Daddy. I'm not measuring this exactly. Because, you know, to me a little bit more garlic isn't a bad thing. I like garlic. If you're not a big garlic fan, you can measure it a little bit less, I suppose. There's the garlic. We'll get that all stirred in. On simmer. Let me see. They want us to now put in the lemon juice, the onion, the whiskey, the crushed pineapple, and the cayenne pepper. So basically all of the rest of the ingredients. So we've got this all ready, and we don't really have to take these off, but I'm going to anyway.
Please don't die.
We'll start with this one. I love lemon. I really love lemon. So for the lemon juice, we want about 3 tablespoons. So I've got this little ramekin, and we're gonna just squeeze the juice into there. I'm gonna try not to get any pulp or seeds in there. I don't really see any seeds right now in this side, so I think we're pretty good. I don't have a juicer or anything like that. If you have like something that actually like juices or anything, that would probably work even better. But that's part of the trick of like squeezing it first, so that you can get everything out. Alright, let's do the other side. Yeah, I don't really... Oh, I see 1 seed. Alright, I'm just going to pull that little guy out. Oh, there's another seed. He didn't fall in though.
Make it float.
This is essentially my workout for the day, and I didn't take my rings off, which, you know, that might have been smart beforehand. But, you know, oh well. I guess they're just going to be covered in lemon juice for right now. Now, since we're kind of doubling this, we're probably going to want to do both, but I'll test it right now. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to want both. In fact, we probably would have wanted 3. That was definitely my mistake. But you know, you live, you learn. I don't really see a lot of seeds in there either.
Get swole, bro.
Get swole hands. Oh, jeez. Wow. You can also take a spoon in here and kind of like squeeze some juice out, but you don't want to get too much like pulp in there. Jeez. I am making a mess.
Giggity.
Never mind them. They're just a little funny.
Him more than
Like
me.
haha funny, or like you should probably keep an eye on them funny?
Maybe both. You're definitely, we should probably keep an eye on you funny.
Just because I stabbed myself a couple times.
That'll be a good story time, trust me. So I think that will be, I think that's about as much as we're gonna get out. So it's gonna have to be sufficient. So,
Let's see what you got.
yep.
Show me what you got.
2, 3, 4, 5. No, just about 6. Perfect. That worked out perfectly. I still would have preferred 3 lemons just to, like, you know, be safe. But this actually worked out perfectly, so I'm happy. Alright, the next part is onions, which we've chopped up now. And so it's about a 1/4 cup. And luckily I think we have just a little under enough to double it. So I think it'll be fine. So we're going to go ahead and get that in here too. I tried to make it as fine as I could. I re-chopped it after Coy was done with it because I decided I wanted it a little more chopped than he did it. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. There's that. And now the next part is a heaping tablespoon of crushed pineapple. That's this. So I guess that's a heaping tablespoon. And we will do, try not to get too much liquid in there. Here's another one. And then down. Oh, it smells so good. I miss it so much. See, the worst part is that I love pineapple and kiwi. And I'm allergic to it. Thanks, son. And now the final part, simply a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So we're going to do 2 of them, which will make it about a 1/2 teaspoon. And that's all of it. That's basically all of the ingredients. Even though it told me that olive oil would be part of it, but so far I've reread this recipe like at least 10 different times now, and I don't see where it's meant for, so oh well. And now we've got this down, got this going, and now the plan is that we're gonna have it simmering for 30 to 40 minutes to let it basically go down by half. We want it to reduce. Thank you, honey. Part of fibro and fibrofog is that I lose words, so sometimes they're gonna have to help me with that. So we're gonna let it reduce for the next 30 to 40 minutes, and you guys don't have to watch all of that part. So we thought that since we were doing TGI Friday's ribs, we should have a little bit of fun and make mudslides. And my daddy actually found this randomly at Giant Eagle, which is one of our like local chains, like chain grocery stores out here. And my mom loves mudslides, like loves them. Sorry, ignore the kid in the background. He's eating at the moment. She loves mudslides. Mom absolutely loves mudslides. So when Daddy found this, they of course got it and made it, and it was delicious. So of course I bought this too to try out for myself. And in fact, we made mudslides for my bachelorette party, and it was fun. So we picked up the mudslide mix, and we've got the Ninja ready, And I've also got some Hershey's syrup. And I got both chocolate and vanilla. I'm not sure exactly what they make it with. They might make it with vanilla ice cream. But because we want to be really rich and decadent, we're going to go ahead and make it with chocolate. Okay, so we've got the chocolate, which I think this is what we're going to do it just to be like completely like, ooh, look at that. I think they make it with vanilla, but that's okay. We want this to be extra chocolatey. So we're just gonna scoop ice cream down into this thing. Normally my husband is the one that makes the drinks, but I guess today I'm doing it.
You're welcome.
I don't even know how much ice cream he tends to put in. So he'll have to let me know when I'm hitting my limit.
Yeah, should about do it.
That's good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we will move on from the ice cream now. And we don't want to make it too strong. Well, I don't want to make it too strong. Because we've still got a little bit more to do. So, open this baby up. I think that's about good, right?
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
Stop.
Mama. Mama.
Stop.
Mama.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Alright. That's what we're gonna do. And now, the ninja would simply put the lid on. We're gonna bring it over here. This little area just kind of sinks down onto that. Is that about good?
Yeah, take a look at consistency. Take a look at consistency.
It's a little more liquid than I normally would like.
Well, also taste it to see how the strength.
Oh, well, I guess I should get a spoon then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty good strength. That's really good. So I'm taking my husband's glass. We're just gonna kind of get it all over the sides here and into the bottom. And go ahead and fill this on up. Whoops, I'm getting all messy. And that's our Friday's mudslide tonight to go along with our ribs. We're gonna go ahead and make a couple for the other two, and then we'll be back once we've got this finished and ready to go. I may have forgotten to
Boost it up.
show that we were boozing it up. So I added it's 2 tablespoons of the Jack Daniel's whiskey, which smells awful, by the way. I'm not a big booze person, and I don't really like whiskey, but for cooking purposes, I'm perfectly fine with putting alcohol and stuff in it. I don't like wine very much either. I think I'm more of a rum girl, and I like rum and other things. Apparently he's fine with it, whatever. See, my brother did something when I was like, I don't even remember what age I was, but he told my mom, and he was like, he was on the phone with her, and he was like, pour her a nice, just a little glass of scotch. And then he was like, okay, Amelia, this is what we're gonna do. Just pick up the glass of scotch and just drink it down as fast as you can. Now, I'm not a scotch drinker, so I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I have a feeling that really like the connoisseurs of scotch would probably be like, no, don't do that. And this was a good scotch from what I know. I thought it tasted horrible, but I did as he said because he was my brother and I loved him and trusted him, and I shouldn't have. And it burned all the way down. And yeah, I don't think I was ever going to listen to my brother when he told me to do that kind of stuff ever again. I think if he had tried to tell me something like that later, I probably would have been like, yeah, no, you did that to me once, never again, never again, never again. So, we're also letting the, it's been simmering for quite a while now, a lot longer than the 30 to 40 minutes. We've got about 10 more minutes left just to make sure that this booze cooks off. And then we're gonna go ahead and put it on and finish it up, and then we're going to test it out against the actual Friday's ones. So yeah, so we finally have this done, and ours hasn't really like solidified quite as much as the Friday's ones. It's a lot more thick. It's a lot thicker than ours is right now. Which is fine. We probably haven't like given it quite as much time, but it's taken a while and it's getting late. I'll definitely start this a lot earlier next time I do any of these. But so this one over here, this is the actual restaurant one. It's got a lot of smokiness to it. And tangy, very tangy. Some of that same like warming heat that you get from the cayenne. So I definitely think they were right about the cayenne. I've been looking through the sauce trying to figure out if there really is, I see onion for sure, but I've been trying to figure out if it definitely is pineapple, and I haven't quite figured it out yet. I think it's just too cooked down to tell. It's nice and sweet though. And now we've got ours, which obviously it's a slightly different type of rib, I think, but that's okay. So we've got the sauce on it finally, and they're nice and cooked and ready to go. Pretty fall off the bone too. So let's give this a try. Maybe this one. It definitely has a lot of the same tang. I think if our teriyaki sauce had been better, if it had definitely been like the right teriyaki sauce, we would have had a lot more of that tang and it would have been like almost a perfect match. I think the only thing we're missing is some of that smoke, and so I think that they might otherwise they smoke the meat, or they use some sort of what?
Liquid smoke?
Yeah, or they use some sort of like liquid smoke in order to get it. But it's really good. It's a pretty close match. It's not perfect by any means, but there's definitely that sweetness and the tang. It's just the smoke that's missing, which, you know, if you have a smoker or know how to do that, at home. Like, you could probably recreate that pretty easily. Or if you know how to work with liquid smoke, you could probably do that too. It's really good. I think that I would definitely give this probably an 8 out of 10. Definitely would make it again. Like, the dry rub was amazing. I would probably use the dry rub on other meats just on its own, even without the Jack Daniel's glaze, because just the mixture of the spices and everything together was really, really good. And it's not too hot, which I like because I can't really handle a lot of heat. My husband is ridiculous, and I'll show you how ridiculous he is. This is a Red Reaper, and that's just one of the things that we've gotten him. He also has some, he's pulling it out now. He's got some like ghost pepper sauces, and yeah, Wicked Reaper. And he got, so recently his brother Austin got him some of the Hot Ones stuff, and he loves this stuff. Like,
World record holder for hottest pepper.
yeah, world record holder for hottest pepper.
Chocolate Pepper X.
Chocolate Pepper X. Now me, I couldn't do that. Like, I haven't even tried that stuff. I haven't even done a little dab on the finger and tried it because my tongue could not handle it and my intestines would hate me. So, I was a little worried about using the cayenne pepper. Usually I steer clear of using it too much, if at all. But this actually is almost a nice warmth. It's a kind of heat that even I can appreciate, which is saying a lot, actually. So I think that this was really well done. And I would definitely use the dry rub for other meats, for, like, you know, pork, steak. Like, I think it would be like a lot of fun to try it on a lot of different types of meats and see how well it holds up on it. And the glaze is really good. I think that next time I'd want to like cook it for a lot, well, I don't know, cooking it for longer, but just like seeing how much thicker we could get it. I'm probably going to put this into like a Tupperware and then see if it gets thicker. And I'll probably let you know in the description down below if it does at all. If not, then we needed to cook it for a lot longer. And you know, that just probably came with doubling the recipe and maybe it not having the simmer up quite enough. But I think this was really good. And I think that overall it's a really good dinner, and I think that you could definitely impress some people with it, even if they didn't know. Like, you don't even have to tell them, hey, this is a TGI Friday copycat. So I will give you the links down below, and definitely if you want to see more videos like this, I'm going to be doing more copycat stuff. I'm also going to be doing some family recipe stuff, as well as some DIY stuff and just some health stuff, and you know, just some fun things that are just, you know, we're gonna get some laughs, we're gonna have some fun, we're gonna make some stuff, and hopefully you'll join me along on the ride. Subscribe. Thank you. See you next time.